council member, Mark Levine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, some of the most heroic figures in New York City history are unknown to most New Yorkers, and that's certainly true of Robert Lowery, who served as our city's first ever African-American fire commissioner. And I'm just thrilled that we're going to be able to acknowledge that heroism by co-naming the street in front of where he lived for much of his life in southern Washington Heights, on Riverside Drive between 155th and 158th Street, just a block away from where he rests now in the cemetery. Mr. Lowery gave 30 years of his life in service to the fire department. Started as a fire marshal. He had a career of extraordinary number of arrests in that role. He rose to the ranks, becoming a lieutenant, deputy commissioner, and then in 1966, he was named the first ever African-American fire commissioner by Mayor Lindsay. And that was not an easy era to lead that department. In retrospect, we've come to call that the war years, a time when there were an unprecedented number of fires in the city from arson and other causes. But Commissioner Lowery won nearly universal praise for his leadership during that era. And most impressively, I think he won the confidence of the rank and file of the department, which at the time was virtually exclusively white. And many of them had opposed his ascension to commissioner. But he won them over because of his abilities and his dedication. And he served as a role model for generations now, including to people of no less stature than Mayor David Dinkins, who has often said that he felt that Commissioner Lowery actually was one of the people who opened the door for his own ascent to the mayoralty. And I'm just so happy that, I guess 14 years after his death, he passed in 2001, we're finally going to acknowledge him on the street where he spent much of his life. And I want to thank the family of Commissioner Lowery, especially his two daughters who still live in the neighborhood and fought so hard to make this happen. And of course, the Vulcan Society, which was a big force in bringing this to reality. Thank you very much.